Hello, everybody, and welcome to our brand new podcast, Standard Definition, our nerdy and nostalgia podcast where we talk about things that made us who we are today as we were children. I'm Corey Derrigan, and of course, alongside me, as always, is that retro code, Eddie V.
Can we really define the standard? Hello, everybody.
Always something. How's it going, Ed? How was the holiday?
Holiday was really good.
Did you eat all the good food?
You know what? I actually didn't. I actually got some pizza and cookies and stuff. I had to work on the holiday, so I wasn't able to have my mom's ham, greens, mashed potatoes, mac and cheese, sweet potatoes, and all that good old stuff.
Well, I didn't have to work, and I ate a lot of food. So,
yes,
my mom decided to make these big pizza roll things instead of like traditional food because, let's be honest, nobody wants that crap. So she made that, and we had like pizza and salad and like cheesy potatoes and mashed potatoes, and there were vegetables there. I did not eat any. I'm not gonna lie to
you. Why not?
I mean, when there's pizza rolls, I'm not wasting stomach space on vegetables. Okay.
but your diet.
It was Christmas. It's
you put it
special
on
special occasion.
You put it on the shelf.
Yeah. Also, we've been prepping our backlog for backlog challenge for Boss Rush games, but this isn't about that. This is Standard Definition. It's an idea I've had for quite a long time, I would say. Ever since you actually came to visit me, Ed, a couple years ago. I've been wanting to do this show since then, and we are finally getting around to it.
Yes.
Basically, what it is a retro and nostalgia-based podcast where we talk about movies, games, toys, comic books, anime, all the things we loved growing up, or, topics that, maybe a host wants to talk about and maybe we catch up on it. Maybe it's not nerd related at all. Like maybe it's something stupid, like either, like a show like The Office or a book like Dracula, or, you know what I mean? Like these kinds of things that we enjoyed growing up, and we're just gonna talk about them for an hour or an hour and a half. And I think that's a cool idea. I listened to a couple podcasts that actually sparked this idea in me a couple years ago, and now it's like I really want to do it. I think now is the time. One show that actually kind of got me thinking about this was Secret Friends Unite. Todd and Charlie talk about stuff all the time, and I'm like, man, I want to do a show that, like, as much as I love video games, I want to like talk about the Indiana Jones trilogy for an hour and a half with someone, or, the Ninja Turtles movie, or, and that kind of stuff. Like I think that's just like a cool idea. And, I'm not expecting it to be like, it's one of those things where like, I'm not really expecting everybody to listen to every episode. Right.
Yes.
But like, they'll pick and choose the topics they want to talk about. And I think that this is going to be a cool idea for us. So what do you think of, Ed? I know we've been throwing ideas back and forth, and my personal second topic you got excited for, but what are you excited for on this?
I'm excited to actually expound on different things as growing up as a kid, and even in my teens, and how it made all the stuff that I learned about entertainment and art. I just love, talking about things. So you mentioned Ninja Turtles and everything, watching the cartoon, watching the movies. But I'm like, there's so much more about it, like getting the fruit snacks when the movie came out. like trying to find out where you could find the potato chips of the Ninja Turtles and everything. Because I think Cheetos did one, and they did like a puff one of the turtle faces.
Well, I know Kraft did one because they had special boxes of mac and cheese that came with turtle bowls, and I still have them. My parents still have them at their house. They have 2 sets of them, and I'm like, yeah, mac and cheese and Ninja Turtles go together.
Yes, but it's also talking about kind of, you know, cartoon. Like that for me, I've always been a big cartoon kid, definitely in the 80s, because I love animation and I love artwork and drawing and stuff. And trying to like watch some of the shows or talk about shows that some people may not even recognize, like Bionic 6. Like nobody knows about that. But I'm like, if you look it up, you'd be like, oh, that would have been a cool show and things like that. So I'm excited to be doing this. You know, to be talking about this and to be on different topics, or even if I'm on every topic, I just love having that conversation about those things. And because it's going to be learning for me, there's going to be things that I didn't know. So, you know, I finally get to get my hands on doing research and learn about stuff and be like, oh, I remember that. Yeah. Okay, cool.
Yeah. And like, you know, this isn't a show for all of us to be on all the time, right? Like if you, Jesse and Ray, I'm sure we'll have a few anime topics, right? Like that I'm not going to lie. I'm not going to sit there and listen for an hour and a half because I have no idea, right? The closest thing I get to anime is like Dragon Quest or Final Fantasy, right? Like sorry, it's not happening. But, you know, that's okay. Like that's the point of the show is like not all of us are into everything. And like maybe I'll sit on one just to hear like how you guys talk about it, because like we know how we talk about games, but I want to like I also want to hear people talk about things they're excited for other than games, right? Like and I think that those things make us who we are, and I think that's the point of the show, right? Like Ninja Turtles, Power Rangers, X-Men for me, right? Disney is a big one for me. You know, and I've been throwing around that idea for that Disney show for a long time, which maybe I got to find time to do it, but maybe it's a big maybe. So, but you know, like that's the point is like maybe Jesse and Ray do a show by themselves, or maybe like, you know, you and Ray get some guests on and you guys talk about something, right? Like, you know what I mean? Like, and guests are going to be on the show too. Like if, you know, like when we get to Spider-Man at some point, I'm sure Charlie from Secret Friends will jump on right away. Right. Or if we talk about, I don't know, something else, right? Like there's just topics. This show could go on forever based on the topics that we have. Right. Like, and I think that's really cool. I think that this is an interesting idea that a lot of, like, there's some people that are doing it that are really fascinating and fun, but I don't think it's an area that's explored a lot in podcast form, like just a random topic that we like, you know? So
yes, it'll
be interesting, but I think it's a really cool idea and I'm excited for it. So, this episode 0 will probably go up on the Boss Rush podcast feed, but Standard Definition is going to have its own podcast feed, so you should be looking for it in the coming weeks. I think like the 3rd or 4th week of January is going to be our first real episode. So, like I said, I wanted a baseline episode 0, quote unquote, to get a feed going, really.
Yes.
And you know, that's how you start a podcast. You do an episode 0 and post it or whatever. So any topics you're excited to talk about, Ed, before we kind of wrap up this intro episode?
Okay. So there is a topic. Okay. Of course, Ninja Turtles is one, but I kind of want to talk about, I mentioned, you know, talking about cartoons and stuff, but I kind of want to have a discussion about Looney Tunes and Tom and Jerry.
That's funny you mentioned that, because my daughter's actually really into Tom and Jerry right now. Like because we have Hulu Live instead of cable, and Boomerang shows Tom and Jerry like 12 hours a day. It's ridiculous. Like they have like their own programming, but it's like 10 hours of Tom and Jerry and then like 2 episodes of Care Bears, something weird, and then Ben 10 and then back to Tom and Jerry, and it's every time you turn it on it's Tom and Jerry. It's awesome.
Yes, because the Hanna-Barbera universe, even though that's outside Tom and Jerry, is vast. But I would love to talk about like Looney Tunes and Tom and Jerry, because I think if you look at those cartoons and stuff, you kind of see the difference of how they go about comedy and everything, how they go to how they go about gags in animation.
Right, and you know, as someone who grew up on Disney's Silly Symphonies and Mickey Mouse cartoons, right? Like, I didn't really watch a lot of Looney Tunes, but like I think it would be interesting to have that conversation, just how they compare, right? Like, because, I mean, I have watched the Looney Tunes. I'm not like, I know who Bugs Bunny and Daffy Duck are, right? Like, I'm not whatever, but like, we were always a Disney household, right? And Disney was always on. So I think having that comparison and how the animation compares and how those old Disney cartoons kind of influenced the Warner Brothers and Tom and Jerry cartoons, right? And kind of compare that kind of thing. I think that would be really fun, right? So
yes,
yeah, I'm also gonna try to like I said, the first well, I don't know if I mentioned it earlier at the top, but our first episode is going to be the 1990 Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles movie. I'm going to try to find our old movie commentary and stick it on the back of that episode. I have the audio file somewhere, so that's probably going to go on the audio version. And I'm also working on getting all of our old Arsenal X stuff.
Yes.
Because for Boss Rush Games, I used our old Nintendo Power Block YouTube channel to get it, kind of give us a boost, right?
Yes.
I'm working on getting all of our old Arsenal X content and moving it over. So
yes.
And those movie commentaries are on there, and I'm gonna try to move them over. The first Ninja Turtles one might be hard because it has a copyright strike against it because I used the Turtles theme song. But with that said, like, I'm very excited for this. I think it's a cool idea. I want to try to get a new episode up every week. We'll see. I hope we have enough time, and if we have to, like, you know, like I said, if Ed and Jesse do one without me and Ray, right? That's the point, right? So, yeah, Standard Definition is coming to a podcast service near you and Spotify. Follow us on Twitter at boss_rush_games and on Facebook at Boss Rush Games. You'll find out exactly when the episodes are posting and when it's debuting. Like I said, I'm trying to aim for the 3rd or 4th week of January for our new stuff, and I hope you guys like it. It's been something I've been wanting to do for a while, and I hope that you guys are just as excited as I am. So, yeah. Also, GameCube and Dreamcast episodes are coming too.
Oh, I'm not ready for the Dreamcast one.
I feel like our
GameCube, I'm ready for it. Dreamcast, it's going to be like, okay, I need to make a list of games. I can't wait to talk about what everybody played about that system.
I feel like that episode's going to be like 4 hours long, especially if Jesse's on, because he's on that Dreamcast kick right now, where he's like collecting Dreamcast games. So
this might be a 2-parter.
Yeah, it could be. You don't know. It could be. So anyways, I want to thank you guys for listening to this episode 0. Like I said, episode 0 is going to be on the Boss Rush podcast feed, just so you guys are aware that Standard Definition is coming, and it's also going to be on the new Standard Definition feed. So look out for it. We will let you know exactly when it's debuting. And thank you guys so much for listening, and we will see you in the near future.
Bye, everybody.